Main goal of this video: to configure pfSense with my ISP's modem/router so that I may connect to the internet using IPv6. Some background information on how I got started. My ISP is Teksavvy, and they can provide you with an IPv6 prefix for free. Instead of logging on with your usual username at teksavvy.com, they assign you a username that ends with @hsiservice.net. When you log on using these new credentials, you're accessing their dual stack PPP OE access network, which allows you to surf the internet natively in IPv6. No tunneling involved. And you have a huge range of public IPv6 addresses that you can assign to any number of devices in your home or office. I thought that was very cool, and I applied immediately. Their tech support got back to me fairly quickly with the new login credentials, but don't expect any support from them. They very clearly wrote in their email that please be advised that it is still in beta testing and that we in no way provide any IPv6 support at this time. All we do is provide you with the information and add it to the account. So again, don't expect any support from them. Link for applying for an IPv6 username and password is right here, and here is the website right there. Sign up for IPv6 today. You can just click there and then sign up. And this is the modem that they provided me. It's called the Alcatel Lucent 7130, also known as the Cell Pipe 7130. From now on, I'll just refer to it as a Cell Pipe. Following settings that I'm about to tell you are specific to this Cell Pipe. Now, if you have a different modem/router, your configuration may be different. Now, before you get started, there are some prerequisites that you need to have. First things first, a username and password from Teksavvy that provides access to their IPv6 network. You'll have to get this from them. It's free for the subscribers. I already gave you the link. I'll just show it to you again. Right here, that's the link. Next, you need a PC with 2 network cards. You need a virtualization platform. I think there are other free ones, open source ones. I think you can still do it with those. I'm using VMware Workstation here, and if you're following along with my demonstration here, you can follow along using VMware Workstation. A PC capable of running a virtual machine requiring 1 GB hard drive, 512 megs of RAM, and 1 virtual CPU, 1 gigahertz or more, fairly nominal requirements. If you need to get a better idea of what kind of hardware you'll need, let me pull up that website. Give me a second. So the website is this, minimum hardware requirements. That's the address. I'll add it to the description of the video, and also on the video I'll embed it somewhere. And look, Pentium 2 processor, 256, so you can get by with a fairly small virtual machine. Next thing you need is a modem/router. Again, my demonstration is on a Cell Pipe 7130, so that's what I'll be using, and 2 network cables to connect everything up. Next, you will need to wire up according to this diagram. This is the modem, and that's port 1, which I'm connecting to the local area connection on my computer, local area connection 4, which is basically an Intel card that I have, dual port gigabit. I'm only using one of them, and I'll make a note of it that this will be my WAN connection. This is what I'll be using to connect to the internet using PPP OE. The other port, port 2 or port 4, doesn't matter which port you connect it to, is going to my local area connection. That is my network card built in on my motherboard. It's called, at least on my computer, it's a Realtek PCI GBE family controller. You may have it called differently on your computer. Next, you will need to assign static IP address. Assign a static IP address to your LAN connection from the 192.168.2.0/24 subnet. In this example, I'll be using 192.168.2.49 since I have been using the static IP address on my computer for a while. Uncheck all items except for VMware Bridge Protocol and QoS Packet Scheduler for your WAN connection. Let me just quickly pull that up for you and show you exactly what I mean. This is my WAN connection right here. And if I go to Properties, you'll see I have unchecked everything except for the VMware Bridge Protocol and the QoS Packet Scheduler. Since this network card will be just interfacing with the virtual machine, I won't be using this network card for my Windows 7 operating system. So this is what I meant by that. Next, bridge VMnet 0 to your LAN connection in VMware Workstation's virtual network editor, and bridge VMnet 1 to your WAN connection again in the virtual network editor. Let me pull that up and I'll show you that also. So this is my VMware Workstation. If you go into Edit, Virtual Network Editor, you will see the Realtek PCIe GBE family controller, which is my onboard built-in motherboard network card that is connecting to the port 4 on the modem. That's what I'm bridging it to. So you can see bridged, connect virtual machines directly to this external network and which network card, and that's VMnet 0, and VMnet 1 is to my WAN connection, the dual port gigabit network card on my computer, and I'm bridging this to VMnet 1. Next, you will need to do some modifications on your cell pipe. I'm going to pull up my modem configurations and show you how to quickly disable DHCP. Change your LAN IP, which is a specific setting on your cell pipe, to 192.168.2.2. Default is 2.1, and that is because we just want to assign 2.1, which is usually assigned to the gateway to our pfSense router. Configure Wi-Fi settings as per your requirements. You can choose any SSID you want, any channel, any password. This is just so that your wireless clients can connect to the internet using your cell pipe. And then lastly, very important step, without this nothing will work, put your modem in bridge mode. This is basically deleting all your credentials in the cell pipe and then hitting apply, I think. Let me pull up my cell pipe, and I'll show you exactly what each of these settings are and where you can change them. So first things first, you'd want to change your LAN settings. See, I've already logged into 2.2. This should be 2.1 for you guys, since you haven't changed the LAN setting right here. Mine says 2.2. You guys should have 2.1, so change it to 2.2, and then disable your DHCP server. You probably have it like this right now, but we don't want the DHCP running from our cell pipe box. We want it running off our pfSense, so we disable it here and then hit apply changes. Once you hit apply changes, it's going to ask to reboot now, and you won't get this screen back again, and that is because when you hit reboot, it's going to change your IP from 2.1 to 2.2, and your address bar will still have it saying as 2.1. So don't worry, all you need to do is change it now to 2.2, hit enter, and you should get back to the website of your router. So after that, LAN setting, Wi-Fi settings, this is, like I said, completely up to you. I'm not going to show you anything here. Set it as you want it, hit apply, and your Wi-Fi should be good to go, and your Wi-Fi clients should be connecting to your cell pipe box. After that, this is the important part, WAN setting. This is where you'll have to delete your username and password that's already there. So delete that and do disconnect. Once you do a disconnect, the modem is going to reboot again. Let me just double check that. Please don't disturb the system while it restarts. Okay, so yeah, I actually did restart the router, not the router, I think just that service. Anyway, after this it's going to display the box back again, and once it does that, your modem is in a bridged mode, and your pfSense router can connect to the internet using the credentials provided in pfSense. pfSense is going to now initiate the PPP OE connection. So I think we have done everything. Next step would be to do the actual installation of the virtual machine, of pfSense in the virtual machine. I'm just going to quickly pause this video, let this boot up, and I'll show you the screen, and then from then on I'll continue on with the installation of pfSense. There. Okay, perfect. So I'll show you again advanced settings. Next, this is how it should be. Alright, let's go on to the installation of pfSense. Before I do the installation of pfSense, I wanted to do a quick overview of my setup and why I am doing it this way. So basically right now, this is my virtual machine sitting inside my computer. These are the two network cards that are inside my computer. Network card, my local area connection, is connecting to the network card called VMnet 0 inside the pfSense virtual machine, and network card 2, which is my WAN connection, is connecting to VMnet 1. This VMnet 1 is what is going to be initiating the PPPoE connection to the internet. So the connection will flow out like this, through the cell pipe modem / router, which has a switch inside it, out to the router, which is again basically the cell pipe modem / router is three things in one. It's a wireless access point, a switch, and a router built into one. The router connects to the ISP using an RJ11 DSL connection. The wireless access point is hard-coded to the switch, so any wireless client associating with this access point connects to the switch directly, and obviously there's a switch part. So again, pfSense, this will be initiating the PPPoE connection, goes through here, through the switch, out through the router to the ISP. Any packets coming back go again from here to the switch, through this switch port to the WAN network card that we have assigned to VMnet 1 in the pfSense, does the routing, does the magic here, goes out again through VMnet 0 to the local network card that is inside this computer. This network card I've actually enabled with the static IP address 2.49, so my entire computer can communicate to the internet just from here. My computer doesn't need to go out to the network. If it wants to go to the internet, it just takes this path from basically this computer to the NIC, to VMnet 0, to VMnet 1, back out to the internet, to the ISP. Any other computer connected to the switch, be it through the access point or through the extra, this is basically a 4-port switch, to the other 2 ports that any device is connected to, is basically going, let's follow the packet for a wireless, let's say my phone that's connected to this. So the packet's going to be sent to this wireless access point, to the switch, back out to my router, through the LAN connection on my computer, through VMnet 0 to the pfSense switch, back out through VMnet 1, through my local area connection 4, which is my Intel Pro Gigabit connection, to the switch, back on my cell pipe, and then out to the ISP, and then back again here, out through the wireless access point to my mobile device. And same thing for any other device that's connected to this cell pipe modem / router. Now the reason why I have done it, there are many ways of doing this, but my reasons for doing this, the main reason, reuse available hardware. It reuses my Wi-Fi access point, which is built into the modem / router. The Alcatel Lucent 7180 aka cell pipe does a decent job as a Wi-Fi access point. Reason number 2, reduce clutter. The need to keep my living room as computer and router free as possible. Since I already have a modem/router provided by my ISP and powerful enough PC to run a virtualized router sitting in my living room, I am not introducing anything new to the living room space. Using the reasons for using pfSense as a router. pfSense has, in my opinion, one of the better QoS algorithms called HFSC. It is particularly suited to voice over IP, as the algorithm schedules packets based not only on bandwidth congestion but also on delay. So if a packet is getting delayed by over a certain threshold that we can configure, the packet gets prioritized over others. Extremely beneficial when you're running voice over IP on the same network as peer-to-peer sharing. A heavy use of torrents will still not degrade, or at least theoretically will still not degrade, a voice over IP phone call. Reason 4, flexibility. If in the future I need to expand my network, all I need to do is disconnect this cable from this switch to another switch and then expand my network out from there. Anything that I expand my network out from there will also be getting routing through the pfSense switch out to the internet, to the ISP, and back again. So that was it, the quick overview of why am I doing it this way. Definitely let's get started to the installation of the virtual machine, of the pfSense virtual machine. Let's download pfSense. Go to pfSense.org, hit download. We need a live CD image. Find it here on the mirrors. AMD64, so you'll get a 64-bit architecture. I need the live CD with installer. Choose any, first one, whichever one. Not connecting. Let's try another one. London, UK, Pierpoint. That doesn't work either. Pick another one. Fleximus. Perfect. There. Hit save. Download that image. So you see, since it's a .gz, you'll need an extraction utility like WinRAR to extract the ISO out of the archive. Hit save. I'm gonna cancel this since I already have it downloaded. I'm gonna be using my downloaded image, so I'll just cancel this and I'll load up VMware Workstation. VMware Workstation, file, new virtual machine, custom hardware compatibility, workstation 10. I will install the operating system later. Other, FreeBSD 64, pfSense. Final, since I'm going to be using this virtual machine as an actual router for my home network. One processor is more than enough. 768 MB RAM, more than enough. Use bridge networking. We're going to define VMnet 0 and VMnet 1 later on. The rest defaults is good. 3 GB of hard drive space is more than enough. Customize the hardware. I'll use the ISO image file. Downloads. It's here in pfSense. Choose the one that you guys just downloaded and extracted. Connected power on, make sure that's selected. Okay, bridged right here. So I'm going to be doing custom. VMnet 0 is the one that is bridged to our local area network. And I'm going to go to advanced and generate a MAC address and copy and paste this MAC address into Notepad or something, because you'll need to refer to this later on. So my LAN, which is VMnet 0, has MAC address of this. So okay. Now I'm gonna I don't need a USB controller, I'm gonna remove it. Don't need a sound card for my router, remove it. Add network adapter. Again, it's gonna be bridged. Finish, and I'm gonna be bridging this to VMnet 1, which is going to be my for my WAN connection. Again, same thing. Generate a MAC address, copy, paste it into your notepad so that you have a record of it, because you're only going to be needing this during the installation of or finalizing the installation of pfSense. Alright, so that's it. Let's everything else is good here. We're good to go. Let's boot it up. Oh yeah, finish and power on this machine. One for boot pfSense default. I'm going to be installing this to the hard drive, so I'm going to be choosing I. Installer may be invoked now to install it to the hard drive. So let's do I. Defaults are always fine. Quick, easy install works fine. Automatically install without asking any questions. Good. Standard kernel is fine. This machine is about to be shut down after the machine has reached its shutdown state. You may remove. That was pretty quick. Done. Take a look at the default username and password. Admin. Password is pfSense. And open up it. We'll need to change this LAN IP address. We're going to do that also. Since I don't have any VLANs, no, I'm going to be choosing N here. And before I go further, I'm going to make a note of this information right here. So EM0, pfSense is assigning EM0 to 8E. So EM0, I'm going to be making it as my LAN, and LE0 is going to be my WAN connection. And why am I saying that? You'll just see right now. So no to the VLANs. See, enter the WAN interface name. So WAN, I just wrote it down. I'm going to make it LE0. LE0 and LAN interface EM0. I don't have any other interfaces. Finish. Assigned as follows: WAN LE0, that's good, WAN LE0, and LAN EM0, LAN EM0. Proceed, yes. Next, I want to assign the IP address 192.168.2.1 to our LAN interface. So let's set interface IP address. So I'm going to be doing option 2. It's going to be my LAN interface, option 2. Enter the new LAN IP address. Bit counts is /24. There is no gateway. There is no IPv6 address right till now. We'll configure that later. DHCP server, yes. Start 192.168.2. I'm going to be starting from 230. 168.2. End it to 254. Revert to HTTP as the web configurator protocol. If yeah, I'm only going to be connecting locally, so I'll say yes to that. See, now I can connect and configure my pfSense from the browser using this IP address. Let's open up 2.1. Admin, default password pfSense, pfSense, initial wizard, next, host name, I'll make it home router. I have a domain name which I'm going to assign. primary DNS server, I'll use Google. Maybe I'll disable this. I want to keep my Google's my DNS as Google's DNS servers. Give my time zone. WAN interface is going to be PPPoE. Now this is where I'm going to be putting the username that Teksavvy provided me for accessing IPv6. So after that, that's it. Then we just hit next, and this is just to block any traffic that is not supposed to be coming from the WAN side, to block that. LAN IP address is 2.1, subnet mask is 24, that's correct. Change admin's password whatever you want it to. I suggest keep it secure. Reload pfSense with new changes. Great, reload done. I'll log back in. Alright, I have a public IP address already. That means PPPoE has initiated successfully, and it's now going through, and pfSense is now my router instead of my Teksavvy box. Next step is to configure IPv6, but before I do, I just want to quickly ping outside and see if I am able to ping outside my network. And there you go, it works. Next is to set up IPv6. So I go to interfaces, WAN, and first thing I do is make sure that my IPv6 configuration for my WAN connection says DHCP6, and I do request a IPv6 prefix information through the IPv4 connectivity link. Basically, so this checkbox is saying request through DHCP the IPv6 prefix information through my PPPoE connection. So yes, that's what I want to do, and save, apply changes. After this, if I go to status and if I choose gateways, I think I should see this come online. So let's hit refresh a few times. There, didn't even need to do a few times, online. Next, I'll assign a static IPv6 address to my LAN interface, to my local interface, and this is going to be the IPv6 prefix that was assigned to you by Teksavvy. It's /64. Now Teksavvy just gave me this part. All I did was appended a 1, because it's almost like 192.168.1.1, and imagine that Teksavvy gave me 192.168.1. You'll need to read up on IPv6. It's sort of the same as IPv4, but at the same time also very different. So anyway, I'm going to add a static IP address to my to my local area network card, my LAN interface, and hit save, apply changes. Now at this point, if I assign a static IP address to my computer, With the gateway pointing here, I should have internet connectivity. And yeah, I'll quickly show you guys that. And before I show you that, there's a quirk in having both your WAN and LAN connection connected to the same switch, and that is sometimes that your WAN port can get a local IP address. And let me just show you that right over here. I just did an ifconfig, logged into the shell of pfSense. Actually, let me show you that too. So over here, this is the console of the pfSense router. Hit 8 for the shell. If you do ifconfig, and if you hit scroll lock, and you can just hit the up arrow key and you can go up right over here. LE0, which is our WAN connection, is having an IPv4 address of 2.245. Not a good, not something that should be happening. So I'm going to quickly reboot the server. Scroll lock off, enter and exit, 5 reboot, and I'll be back right after this machine reboots. Hopefully after it reboots, the local the WAN interface should not be having a local or a private IP address. Let's see now if I have a local IP address for my WAN interface, and you can see that I don't now. There is no just inet 192.168.2.45 I think it had before. It doesn't have it anymore. Good. So exit, and now I'm going to assign the IP address to my network card, which I'm just going to make it as 2, and 1 will be the gateway address with the /64. Local area network. So I have my IPv6 disabled. I'll enable it, hit OK, and then properties again, open it up, use the following IPv6 address instead of 1, 2, /64, paste 1. The other DNS servers, the IPv4 DNS servers of Google 8.8.8.8 also resolve IPv6 addresses. So I'm going to leave that blank, and you'll see when I do a ping to google.ca, it will resolve its IPv6 address using these DNS servers, IPv4 DNS servers. So at this point, I should be connected to the internet using an IPv6 address. Let's quit. It says it over here also, IPv6 connectivity, internet. So I'm connected using both, hopefully. Let's see. Ping -6. That's the IPv6 ping to google.ca. And voila. Amazing. I have IPv6 connectivity to the internet. There are a few other ways of setting up IPv6 for your local network, and I'm going to go through I think 2 different scenarios using pfSense's options for IPv6. So let me get to that. Before I go through the other scenarios, I just wanted to show you test your IPv6. So to actually see, I'm actually showing you my public IP address that I assigned to my local area network card. See, the Realtek, remember I said this is my LAN controller, it has a public IPv6 address, and that's what's being tested, and I'm running it perfectly fine. Awesome. And then you can also, I have bookmarked a scanner. See, it detects your IPv6 address, and then you can scan your computer. I'll scan the default ports, the usual suspects. Begin scan, and you'll see that my firewall is dropping packets that are not supposed to get to my computer. Perfect. Alright, now let's, oh, okay, there's some of these. This might take a while, so you know what, I'm gonna let it run, come back to this later, but I will now demonstrate how to configure with what is known as an IPv6 stateless. I'm not too sure on the term. Let me just pause the video and I'll look up the terms and I'll be back.